My darling Cecily, I feel there is some slight error. Mr. Earnest Worthing is engaged to me. The announcement will appear in the Morning Post on Saturday at the latest.
I'm afraid you must be under some misconception. Ernest proposed to me exactly 10 minutes ago.
It is very curious, for he asked me to be his wife yesterday afternoon at 5:30. If you care to verify the incident, pray do so. I never travel without my diary. One should always have something sensational to read on the train. I am so sorry, dear Cecily, if it causes you any disappointment, but I am afraid I have the prior claim.
It would distress me more than I can say, dearest Gwendolyn, if it caused you any mental or physical anguish. But I feel bound to point out that since Ernest proposed to you, he clearly has changed his mind.
If the poor fellow has been entrapped into any foolish promise, I will consider it my duty to rescue him at once, and with a firm hand.
Whatever unfortunate entanglement my dear boy may have gotten into, I will never reproach you with it after we are married.
Do you allude to me, Miss Cardew, as an entanglement? You are presumptuous. On an occasion of this kind, it becomes more than a moral duty to speak one's mind. It becomes a pleasure.
Do you suggest, Miss Fairfax, that I entrapped Ernest into an engagement? How dare you? This is no time for a shallow mask of manners. When I see a spade, I call it a spade!
I am glad to say that I have never seen a spade. It is obvious that our social spheres have been widely different.
Shall I play tea as usual, Miss?
Yes, as usual.
Are there many interesting walks in the vicinity, Miss Cardew?
Yes, from one of the top of the hills one close can see 5 counties.
5 counties? I don't think I should like that. I hate crowds.
I suppose that is why you live in town.
Quite a well-kept garden this is, Miss Cardew.
So glad you like it, Miss Fairfax.
I had no idea there were any flowers in the country.
Oh, flowers are as common here, Miss Fairfax, as people are in London.
Personally, I cannot understand how anybody manages to exist in the country. If anybody who is anybody does. The country always bores me to death.
This is what the newspapers call agricultural depression, is it not? The aristocracy are suffering very much from it at present. It is almost an epidemic amongst them. May I offer you some tea, Miss Fairfax?
Thank you. Detestable girl! But I require tea.
Sugar?
No, thank you. Sugar is not fashionable.
Cake or bread and butter?
Bread and butter, please. Cake is rarely seen in the best houses nowadays.
Hand that to Miss Fairfax.
You have filled my tea with lumps of sugar, and though I asked most distinctly for bread and butter, you have given me cake. I am known for the gentleness of my dispositions and the extraordinary sweetness of my nature. But I warn you, Miss Cardew, you may go too far.
To save my poor, sweet, innocent, trusting boy from the other girl. There are no lengths to which I would not go.
From the moment I saw you, I distrusted you. I felt you were false and deceitful. With my first impressions of people, I invariably right.
It seems to me, Miss Fairfax, that I am trespassing on your valuable time. You have, no doubt, many other calls of a similar character to make in the neighborhood.
Ernest! My own Ernest!
Gwendolyn, darling!
A moment. May I ask if you are engaged to be married to this young lady?
Poor dear little Cecily. Of course not. What could have put such an idea into your pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
I knew there must be some misunderstanding. The gentleman whose arm at present is around your waist is my guardian, Mr. John Worthing.
I beg your pardon.
This is Uncle Jack.
Jack.
Here is Ernest.
My own one!
A moment, Ernest. May I ask, are you engaged to be married to this young lady?
To what young lady? Good heavens, Gwendolyn!
Yes, good heavens, Gwendolyn. No, I mean Gwendolyn.
Of course not. What could have put such an idea into your pretty little head?
Thank you. You may.
I felt there was some slight error, Miss Cardew. The gentleman who is now embracing you is my cousin, Mr. Algernon Moncrieff.
Algernon? Are you called Algernon?
I cannot deny it.
Is your name really John?
I could deny it if I liked. I could deny anything if I liked. But my name certainly is John. It has been John for years.
A gross deception has been practiced on both of us.
My poor wounded Cecily.
My sweet wrong, Gwendolyn.
You will call me sister, won't you?
There is just one question I would like to ask my guardian.
An admirable idea. Mr. Worthing, there's just one question I would like to put to you. Where is your brother Ernest? We are both engaged to your brother Ernest, so it is a matter of some importance that we know where your brother Ernest is at present.
Gwendolyn, Cecily. It is very painful for me to be forced to speak the truth. It is the first time in my life I've ever been reduced to such a painful position. And I am really quite inexperienced in doing anything of the kind. However, I will tell you candidly that I have no brother Ernest. I have no brother at all. I've never had a brother in my life, and I have not the smallest intention of ever having one in the future.
No brother at all?
None.
Had you never a brother of any kind?
Never. Not even of any kind.
I am afraid, dear Cecily, that it is quite clear that neither of us is engaged to be married to anyone.
It's not a very nice position for a young girl to find herself in, is it?
Let us go into the house. They will hardly venture to go after us